Cold nights have always tested human ingenuity, especially for people whose skin reacts badly to rough fabrics, smoke, dampness, or sudden temperature shifts. Long before modern heaters, antihistamines, or synthetic insulation, people developed night warmth methods that balanced heat retention with skin protection. Tonight, we're going straight into those techniques, stripped of myth and fluff, focusing on what actually worked and why it still matters. If you value historically grounded survival knowledge, subscribe to Warfield Prepper Chronicles, like this video, and leave a comment with the methods you've tested or studied yourself. Layering systems were designed to protect skin first, not just trap heat. Historical night warmth began with understanding that bare skin loses heat fastest, and irritated skin loses it even faster. In medieval Europe and across Central Asia, people avoided single heavy layers at night. Instead, they slept in multiple thin layers made from linen, soft wool, or brushed cotton. Linen underlayers were critical because they wickered moisture away from the skin, preventing chill caused by night sweat. For sensitive skin, this reduced itching and inflammation. A practical application today is sleeping in a breathable base layer even in cold conditions, avoiding direct contact between skin and heavy blankets. This method stabilizes body temperature through the night instead of causing hot-cold cycles that trigger skin reactions. Bedding materials were selected for skin tolerance, not luxury. Historic households knew that coarse wool directly on skin caused rashes and sores. Wool was used, but always separated from the body by softer textiles. In Scandinavia and the British Isles, sheepskins were turned wool side down, with linen between the skin and the hide. Straw mattresses were wrapped in cloth sacks to prevent dust and abrasion. For sensitive skin, this layering reduced friction and allergen exposure. Applied today, this translates into using covers over synthetic or wool blankets and avoiding textured materials against bare skin. Even a simple cotton sheet barrier recreates this proven approach. Bed warming relied on stored heat rather than constant exposure. Hot bricks, stones, and ceramic bed warmers were common across Europe, China, and the Middle East. The key detail often missed is that these were never kept in direct contact with skin. They were wrapped in cloth and placed near the feet or between layers, releasing heat slowly. This avoided burns, dryness, and flare-ups common with direct heat. For modern use, a wrapped hot water bottle placed near the feet follows the same principle. The goal is to warm the microclimate of the bed, not the skin itself. Night clothing was, intentionally loose to prevent circulation loss and irritation. Tight garments were avoided during sleep because, they restricted blood flow and caused cold extremities. Historical night shirts were long, loose and lightweight, allowing heat to circulate naturally around the body. This reduced pressure points that can aggravate sensitive skin and joint pain. Applying this today means avoiding compression sleepwear in cold environments, and instead choosing loose garments that allow air pockets to form, which act as insulation without friction. Head and neck insulation was prioritized over heavier blankets. Historical sleepers understood that heat loss through the head and neck was honestly quite severe. Nightcaps made of linen or soft wool blends were common, especially among the elderly and infirm. Scarves or neck wraps were used to protect exposed skin from cold air without adding weight to the chest. This is directly applicable today by using soft sleep caps or neck gaiters made from skin-safe fabrics. Increasing insulation at these points reduces the need for heavier blankets that can irritate skin. You know, bed placement and airflow control actually mattered more than just the heat from a fire. Beds were positioned away from stone walls, away from drafts, and definitely not in direct contact with the ground. Elevated bed frames and wall hangings served as insulation barriers, really making a difference. Fireplaces, interestingly enough, were often allowed to die down before sleep, just to avoid that smoke and dryness that could damage skin overnight. In modern times, this translates to placing beds away from windows, sealing up drafts, and using breathable room insulation, rather than just cranking up high heat sources that dry the air and aggravate sensitive skin. Herbal and oil practices played a big role in protecting the skin while still supporting warmth. Before petroleum products were a thing, people used rendered animal fats and plant oils sparingly on exposed skin, just to reduce moisture loss and cracking. Goose fat, olive oil, and beeswax balms were pretty common choices. These created a protective barrier, but without any synthetic irritants. Today, you might apply a light, fragrance-free balm to your hands, feet and lips before sleep in cold conditions. That helps prevent those tiny micro-cracks that can lead to inflammation and even heat loss. Nighttime routines were really built around stabilizing body temperature. Folks would have warm drinks like lightly salted broth or herbal infusions before bed, never alcohol. Alcohol might feel warm at first, but it actually causes rapid heat loss once its effects wear off. Gentle movement before sleep was encouraged to increase circulation, but without breaking a sweat. So, applying this today means avoiding overheating before bed and instead choosing warm, non-stimulating routines that help your body hold on to heat through the night. These old night warmth methods weren't really about comfort, at least not in the modern sense. They were systems, honed by trial, failure and necessity, all designed to preserve heat while protecting fragile skin in harsh conditions. Every technique was about balance, not excess. If this guide added a bit of value to your understanding of historical survival practices, do consider subscribing to Warfield Prepper Chronicles, give the video a like, and share it with other researchers and preparedness enthusiasts. Leave a comment with the methods you've studied or used, and keep these techniques alive by applying them, testing them, and passing them on.